Boeing's 737 MAX problems put $600 billion in orders at risk. Boeing Co.'s $600 billion plus order book for its 737 MAX began shaking after several big customers threatened to reconsider their purchases in the wake of the Ethiopian Airlines crash, the second deadly accident involving the plane since October. Vietjet Aviation JSC, which doubled its order to about $25 billion only last month, said it will decide on its future plans once the cause of the tragedy has been found. Kenya Airways that's as Indonesia's Lion Air firms up moves to drop a $22 billion order for the 737 in favor of the Airbus jet, according to a person with knowledge of the plan. Separately, the 737, which first entered service in the late 1960s, is the aviation industry's best-selling model and Boeing's top earner. The re-engineered Boeing, whose shares have lost 11% of their value this week, faces escalating financial risk after two disasters involving its newest narrow-body jet in the past 5 months. The stock inched up. The deadly crash in Ethiopia comes just about 5 months after the October 29 crash of another Boeing 737 MAX plane, operated by Indonesia's Lion Air. The relationship, Sunday's loss of an Ethiopian Airlines 737, in which 157 people died, bore similarities to the Asian tragedy, stoking concern that a feature meant to make the upgraded MAX safer than earlier planes has actually made it harder to fly. Boeing is in crisis as most of the world grounded the plane. On Wednesday, with extensive grounding of the 737 MAX, near-term news could get worse for Boeing before it improves, CAI von Rumor, an analyst with Cowen & Co., said in a note. However, indeed, the only real rival to Boeing is European plane maker Airbus, whose production line for the A320neo is full well into the next decade. Alaska Air Group Vietjet is monitoring the situation and will reach a decision on whether to go ahead with its purchase following official conclusions from global regulators and the Civil Aviation Authority of Vietnam, it said in a statement Wednesday. Yotair told RIA Novosti that it's waiting for results of the Ethiopian crash probe before proceeding with the first delivery on an order for 3,737 MAX jets. The company is seeking Fly a Deal, a unit of Saudi Arabian Airlines, said in December it would switch from Airbus and purchase up to 5,737 MAX jets, subject to final terms being reached. The company says Lion Air was already looking at scrapping its Boeing deal after October's crash, which killed 189, and the latest disaster has made co-founder Rusty Kirana more determined to cancel the contract, according to the person familiar with the situation, who asked not to be named as the plans are private. Kenya Airways will consider switching to Airbus or could opt to take more in the older version of the 737 Boeing jet, which doesn't feature the suspect system, Chairman Michael Joseph said in an email, without ruling out sticking with the MAX. The company revived some 32 of those killed in the Ethiopian crash, which occurred 6 minutes after takeoff from Addis Ababa, were Kenyan citizens, the most for any single country. We will carefully follow the developments around the 737 MAX, Kenya Airways Joseph said. No decision has. Kenya Airways has about 40 aircraft including 8 787 wide bodies and the same number of an older version of the 737, the 800. The Dreamliner fleet with assistance from David Mullinha and David Erbling.
Raindrop, drip, drop top, top smoking, no cooking the hot pot. You fucking on your bitch, yeah, that.